First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. Doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting, dude.
This is Cynthia Ortiz. These are the Charles Perry, David Robertson, stalking, hacker, voyeurism, human trafficking podcast. It's 11 o'clock on January 24th, 2024. And they've been at it again all day. So we got more. I don't know what day they're going to finally be arrested, but yesterday's not soon enough for most of us. Please remember that 0.1% of the population only is a violent offender. Stalking is a domestic violence offense, human trafficking, rape. All of those are violent offenses, assault with a deadly, assault and battery, attempted murder. All of that is violent crime. Voyeurism is a sex crime. So I don't know who you talk to, but looking for the guys helping me. It's a need to know. They're not going to tell you unless they want you to know. And right now they don't. And nor do I. No one does. 99.9% of the population can't understand what kind of depraved, demented monster does what you do all damn day. And so, because of that, we get the help and you get told on. You only get told on, if you think about it, when you do the crime to me. You cause me a problem. They're cops. They love to cause problems for criminals such as yourselves. So we get the help. It's been that way 10 years. Every day, all day long. And y'all, I mean, these guys like to they're boring. They do the same thing every day. Try to pull some horrible, thing and make a problem for me. And all of that is intended to basically bully me into cooperating with being trafficked. Mr. Perry wants me to sign an affidavit. That is a lie. And I've, for 10 years, said, fuck you, get away from me. So, I mean, that's a long period of time for someone to get rejected and not be able to move on, right? If it's just stalking. If it's human trafficking, that's a long time to not learn how to, not know how to say pivot next. I mean, my answer is no. You guys try to make me broke. You try to make me destitute. You're trying to take my car. You told somebody tonight, we just got to get her car. Then she'll go. Then she'll call us. We just need to talk to her. We need to get somebody to talk to her to tell her she can't stay in Oklahoma. And we're all like, when was it your business? See, I moved 2 times to get away from Charles Perry, and nobody understands why he cannot get that 10 years later. He repulses me. Even if he weren't just a job, there are certain kind of men that I'm interested in that attract me, and that would be men who will work and have something interesting to talk about. Men who are smart. Men who are interesting. Men who are busy and mind their own business. Men who try to help people, are chivalrous. And I don't do canned food guy. Under any circumstances, never at all will I do canned. If I wanted canned food guy, I'd go down to Walmart and get the greeter. Okay, or the guy that collects the baskets, because I know they don't make a whole lot of money, but I guarantee you a lot of those guys are a hell of a lot nicer than you and stand a whole lot bigger chance of getting a date with me than you ever did. So, he made this sound like it's a romantic thing, and it's not. There's nothing there at all. Definitely not for me. It's not mutual, but not even for him, because for 10 years I've said, listen, I don't go out with men who peep and can't respect the rights of other people. I don't go out with human traffickers. I don't go out with pedophiles. I don't go out with cop killers. I don't go out with men who are canned food. I don't go out with men who take my money, run my friends and family off. I don't go out with no monster like that would I go out with, ever. That's repulsive to most people. 99.9% of the population, as it turns out. It is against the law because of that. A lot of people got together and passed a law that said if you do this to a woman, you were going to go to jail. You go to jail. This time you can't buy your way out. When you started doing the crime to me, forever your life was changed. Nothing will ever be the same again. Life as you knew it ended when you did it to me because we've heard you talking about it. We've never had this happen before. How did she find out? How does she know about that? This never happened before. We've never had one figure out we had cameras in their house. We've never had one figure out we were causing their problems. We've never had one sue us. We've never had one invoice us. And we've never had one solve a murder we committed to cover all that up. But she did. Life as you knew it ended forever when you did it to me. And you know that, and you do it anyway. So what are people supposed to think? That you don't want to get caught? Bullshit. Because you get caught only when you do the crime to me, and you continue to go at it day after day after day. And we quote you guys every day. We've got your names of your accomplices. We got Lucius, Geppetto, Calvin, Blankenship, Desiree, Andrew, Lawrence, James, Ruben, Richard, Dickey, Nesbitt, Greg, Tim, Larry, Bruce, Oscar, Beverly, Renee, Monique, and now we got Gabe, Jacob, Damien, and Bethany. Those we just got over the last couple weeks. If you didn't like getting caught, you would not do the crime to me. So when you sit there and say, we don't want to get caught, you're full of crap. Nobody believes that. Your code words, Muffin Man, is a nickname for, yeah, we know who, but I'm not going to say right now. Yeah, I will let you explain that. Okay, at your trial. If people are repulsed by you, you know, we heard you guys, oh, she just doesn't understand how this works. We just need to sit her down and explain how this works. How about you explain it to your jury, how human trafficking works? And see if they think it's cute. Okay? Sit your jury down after the guys that get all the intel that they're going to use to put you in jail. Explain it to that jury how human trafficking works. She just, we about felt, what? She just doesn't understand how this works? Explain it to the media. Hold a press conference. See if the public just doesn't understand how human trafficking works. Explain it to your jury. Charles, every time you contact me, we always get more. Every time you peep, every day you peep, you sick fuck, we always get more. Every time you contact me, you cause a problem for me. I lose an eyelash because of you. You're provoking people with a lot of power. Power to get me everything you say. Power to get a court order signed to get me everything you say. And who else do they get it to? Get the fuck off me. Get off my back. Get the fuck off my back, David. Where I live is none of your business. No one is bothering you. You're getting caught when you bother me. If you don't like that, sir, don't bother me. It's not hard. We all learned it in daycare. It's easy cause and effect, same, different, before and after. Charles, I moved 2 times to never again have to hear what you think or how you feel or what you need or what you want. No one cares. You ought to hear the guys in the background when you guys are talking and they got a live feed coming in their office. Guess what they sit there and say? No one cares. No one cares. No one gives a fuck. No one cares. Okay, you know how they know that? They talk to people. Or there's somebody that you were maybe a threat to or something, and they got an order on them to make sure they're all right. No, you got to hear what people say behind your back. You would not show your face in public again. Your code words: Ratatouille, Rumpelstiltskin, Hansel and Gretel, Duck, Duck, Goose, Pin the Tail on the Donkey, Papa John's. We can't make Papa John's on this one. This is your code word for delivering a human trafficking victim to the buyer. Human trafficking is a very disgusting, horrible crime. You horrify people. 99.9% of the population is absolutely horrified by what you guys do. Horrified. We get the help, you get told on. So don't run around and go, how'd she find out about that? How does she know about that? How'd she find out about that? How'd she know about that? This never happened before. Well, it has every day for 10 years, actually, when you do it to me. And you keep doing it. So we're like, well, I guess they like getting caught. I guess they like getting told on. I guess they like us getting all that stuff they just said. Last night, Robertson called somebody and he said, I think she's got one of those police officers talking to her through the window. And the person you said it to about felt, it sounded like he went, oh, for God's sake. One of those kind of sighs, like, oh, for God's sake. He didn't say the words, he just like sighed, like that was what he was thinking. And he goes, you are a voyeur. You can talk to police on the phone. Even if, let's say, they were talking to her through her window, how is that any of your business, sir? That's her window at her home. Okay? Doesn't concern you at all. Do you want somebody questioning all the people that come to your house and talk to you? You guys are getting a little bit of your own medicine dished right back at you and you can't handle it. So, I guess somebody, like the other day you called, and the guy goes, they're wanting me to help them. And, this poor girl has had these men gawk at her in her own house for 10 years, and that is horrible. Can you imagine having to live like that for 10? Oh my, what a bunch of depraves. This is bad. That's all they do all day is sit there and gawk at her in her house. That's just gross and illegal. And I don't know how she lives like that. So now she's got some law enforcement all over them, and they're crying like a bunch of little girls. It is pathetic. They want help. I don't think anybody's going to help them if that's what they do, shit like that. So they think it's bi-coastal. Maybe. Who cares? You know what? No one cares. You know what they care about? Maybe you got to stop doing that. Don't cry like a bunch of little girls when somebody does to you what you've done to me and your other victims. I'm not the only one. And he said that. He goes, I bet it's about time that they've done this to a lot of people for a long time. And finally, they're getting some of their karma back, and they don't like it. Calling everybody whining and crying about it like a bunch of sissies. I don't think anybody wants to help them. They've been calling around trying to find out who's helping her. Nobody will answer the question. They're getting a runaround. We did say, we told you, didn't we? You're going to get the runaround as long as you're going at me. As long as you pose a risk or a threat to me, as long as you're taking things and causing problems for me, they're going to cause 20 for you. So when we find out, David's like, I think it's the window. I want you to take her car. Then she'll call us, and then we can sit her down and explain how human trafficking works, because she clearly doesn't know. Is that a problem for you that we have that? Is it a problem for you that we're naming your people? Is it a problem for you we have your code words? He said, you make a problem for her, I'll make 20 for you. Watch. I do that for criminals. I'm a cop. I'm good at it, too, by the way. He told you in March 2020, Cynthia's privacy is not to be invaded. You're not to contact her or her family in any way, shape, or form, directly or indirectly, and she's not to be broke. Get your hands out of her wallet. You don't take her steak and hand her canned food and go, well, I gave you something. So did Hitler. He gave the Jews a place to live and food, too. After he took their mansions and put them in a flea and rat infested shed and let him eat a biscuit once a week. Oh, I gave to him. I took care of him. Listen, you're not fooling anybody. Charles, there's no romance there. I like men who are chivalrous. I like men who are men. Okay, only a pussy sits behind a computer and threatens a woman, picks on a woman. And there's like 20 of you, right? 20, 30 of you. Okay, tough guys pick on tough guys. Princesses pick on girls. That's all there is to it. That's all there is to it. Charles, you are not wanted. Nobody's trying to hold your hand. You got women going to the courthouse trying to get a protective order. You're having to buy your way out. And this time you can't. So one of our guys goes, yeah, some of those guys were talking about that. These guys have got a lot of money, and it's not doing shit for them right now. Her people don't care. She and her people, nope, get out of her face. Get off of her. That's all there is to it. I don't want your money. They haven't had a leak. They haven't had anybody call them from her side and say, I'll take the bribe money and I'll tell you who they are. Nothing. There's some very committed people there, and they want to shut this down. They want this stuff stopped. especially what they're doing to her. And you'd think David would figure that out by now, but he hasn't. I don't think he's a whole lot smarter than Charles. Charles has Huntington's disease, which we found out also because of his cruelty. The guy said, I'm sick of watching Charles torture her and torment her and try to ruin her. I'm sick of it. And he doesn't want her to know that he has Huntington's disease, not Tourette's, like he tells people. Make sure she finds out. Make sure she finds out. Huntington's disease causes paranoia, delusion, hallucinations, psychosis, and impaired cognitive reasoning. He's not all there. His elevator doesn't work at all. It for sure doesn't go to the top. It doesn't even work. And we're starting to hear more and more complaints that when someone is trying to reason with David, it's almost the same. You just can't get through. Those things just don't click. They don't do things that are reasonable or rational, and it's frustrating. It's frustrating a lot of people around them that are reasonable and rational, and are going, "What? Do you not see what happens when you mess with her? It's different, but it's the same every time you do it." They get the information before you hand, not after. Before you guys do it, they hear you talking about doing it. They got specific, detailed information about what you're doing to her next. Now, we have it pretty much 98% of the time, but I don't always type up an email about it. Sometimes I do. A lot of times I do. Depends what we want to do with it. We would decide what we're doing with what you give us. Okay? That's our choice. We control the flow of information, and we control what we do with it. It's not up to you. Where I live doesn't concern you in the least. Nobody's bothering you. You're getting caught bothering me. So if you don't like getting caught, don't bother me. It's not hard. This is daycare shit. And you will need to talk to me because I don't understand how human trafficking works. I don't care. You know what I care about? Is that you're doing things to me to cause a problem in places you shouldn't know anything about, to people you shouldn't know. And you wouldn't if you weren't human trafficking and stalking to traffic. So you want to prove our case for us. You want to prove out our intel. We get intel in. Some's good, some's bad. Some's partially good and partially bad. Give me as many I told you so. I did say. We just said that's what they were doing. I just told you so. I mean, let's see then how you're a jury. Why don't you explain how you're a jury? To your jury, how human trafficking works. Okay? Now, you can sit down in your bullshit meetings and tell yourself whatever story you want to tell yourself. We're getting the information. We own it. We decide what we're going to do with it. We've told you what we're going to do with it. What you think about it doesn't affect us at all. We get the intel either way. So, and I can testify in court, yes, I heard the police recording. See, here's the proof. I typed up an email about it. I don't always type them in email. Sometimes I just change what I'm doing. Sometimes they let you do something so that it's another charge. If you want to get somebody on a drug sale thing, you got to actually let them do the buy. Okay, so sometimes they let you go ahead and do something. There's been a few times I wasn't told before because they wanted me to react authentically like I didn't know. That was not fun for me, but I agreed to it if it helps put you guys in jail. We're going to save some lives here. We're going to relieve some suffering here. We're going to make some people's hurt go away. And you're causing the hurt. And you do it on purpose. And nobody likes that. We get the help. You get told on.
Leave me alone! Please!
Just talk to me for 2 minutes. First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. Doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting.
Alright, so the rest of the world is disgusted by you. And repulsed by you. Even prisoners are repulsed by guys like you.
Leave me alone.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey men, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them, especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumbass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her. You need to leave her alone. And this is Bacon.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone. Stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalked me. That's why I moved.
don't. Just talk.
Leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No,
and I'll leave you alone.
0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you guys. I don't ever want to hear your voice to you. Please, God bless you, but please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop. This make you feel? You're filming my father and my fucking sister. How does this make you
Is that
feel?
the one that put all those scratches on your arm? You want to see the
Scratches?
Pictures?
I got scratches.
I can show you the pictures right now.
No, I want you to leave my family fucking alone.
Keep hanging outside of there.
Monkey, hit the road. Dude, I promise you, you're gonna get yours and you're
I
gonna
don't
get
give a
it
fuck.
good.
You can bring whoever the fuck you want.
That's okay. You're
You
gonna
can
find
bring
Is
a
that
whole
a
fucking
threat?
army.
You're gonna
I don't give a
find
fuck.
out.
Leave me alone.
Stepdad been raping you since
Leave
you were
me
12 years old?
alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes and I'll leave you alone.
Oh my God.
See, this is how people end up on Lifetime. This is how people get hurt and stabbed, and then you want to say that the woman is crazy because she was the one walking down the street in whatever clothes that she was wearing. If a woman tells you to leave her alone and they're constantly walking away from you, that is your cue to back the hell up, turn around, and talk it up. She does not want to deal with you. And no, she does not have to give you an explanation. And no, she does not even have to give you 5 seconds of anybody's damn time because you cannot control your primal feelings from your testosterone running through your veins till you see something pretty that you think you're supposed to have. Leave her alone.
All right, so we set this up. But was it, David, you want me to Google? We heard you telling somebody, or you and Charles, if she would just Google it. I'm not going to Google fuck, okay? I have no idea what you're talking about. How would you know, but for hacking or cloning my phone, as we've said you've done, that what I do and do not Google anyways? Okay? So you need to mind your own business, and you don't worry about what I do, what I Google, okay? If you would mind your own business, and please do get your little speech ready so you can explain to a jury how human trafficking works, then that should keep you busy for a while and you'll get off my back, okay? Where I live is none of your business. Charles, I moved 2 times to get away from you and to never again have to hear what you think or what you want or what you need, and we just need her to, fuck you. I said no, and I said fuck you, and I said get the fuck away from me. Get away from me. You leave me alone and stay the hell away from me. And every time you don't, we get more. We find out you're talking about Google. We just need her to Google. We just go ahead and take her car away, then she'll call us. I will not call you. Okay? I will not call you. It'll give me another, I did say, I told you so. We've heard you. We want to shut her phone down. We want to freeze all her bank accounts. We want to get her fired from the club. We want to make sure she doesn't have another job. We want to make sure she's nice and destitute. No car, no nothing. And then she'll call us. Nope, I'm not going to call you. You know why? They're about to arrest you. I don't need to. And I'm going to get a bonus every time you do shit like that to me. Every problem you cause. That's a new thing. Because they were like, after the school thing you pulled, ruining my school, the guys had a meeting and they were like, listen, she's put up with a lot of crap and this is taking longer than we thought. And there's this, it seems like it's just this ever expanding thing. More and more people involved, more and more people to run investigations on. So unfortunately, she's taking the brunt of the crap. So from here on out, every time they do something, she gets a bonus in this amount. When this is all over and we can finally pay her, she's going to get a bonus. So keep that in mind. All right? We've given you full disclosure. You cause a problem for me, I get a bonus. Everybody's like, why doesn't she cry? How would you know whether I cry or don't if you're not voyeurs? Okay. When you're in jail and they can finally pay me, because you're in my bank accounts all the time, screwing around with stuff in there. So they can't pay me, then you'll know who they are. So it'll have to be after your arrest, when you can't get in my bank accounts anymore, and then I'll get paid. And there will be a bonus every time you cause a problem for me, every time you take something, every time you cause a loss. Do you not understand how this works? Huh? Okay. So, there's that. Then he says, oh, get this. Charles said Cindy won't have anything to do with him because she's hormonal and lesbian. And the guy was like, she's not. I've been around her. She's not hormonal and she's not lesbian. Fabian's a guy, by the way. Saeed is a guy. My ex-husband was a man. I mean, come on. With this, anything but what it really is. I just don't like you. And he goes, basically, maybe it's because he causes a problem for her every day. Wherever she goes, he makes a problem. And everything's a thing, and everything's an ordeal, and a really good day turns very bad the second he shows up. He'll ruin it. If it's good, he'll ruin it. He ran all her friends and family off. She's lost her whole family. They are gone. Her entire family is gone because of Charles Perry. And he made her broke. He took everything she owns. He keeps trying to take her car. He's wrecked her cars. He's ruined her cars. He's ruined her credit. He's ruined jobs. He's trying to ruin her reputation. He keeps trying to put her in jail. He's trying to frame her for a murder. He's trying to murder her, trying to sell her, and she's got to go, oh, we got a house for you where you're going to go get raped every day, and I can make a lot of money from your body against your will. You get violently attacked, and I'll get some money. Why don't you want to come? Why don't you like me? And the guy goes, maybe it's that. Could be that. What an idiot. What the fuck? Who the fuck says stuff like that? He goes, I'm sick and tired of him doing that. Going around, oh, I think she's a lesbian. Oh, I think she's hormonal. No. You're a depraved monster. Maybe it's that. Look what you've done to her. You fucking turn off. No woman likes a peeping Tom. If there were nothing else, there's that. It's illegal for a reason. Other people don't do it because it's horrible. And people are horrified by you. Why would they not be? You're a pimple on the boil on the ass of society, and the kind of thing everybody just wants gone. So believe me, when these guys come around and go, we're fixing to make them be gone, they don't have any problem with getting cooperation. None at all. So, I mean, y'all don't go around going, well, how did she find out about that? How did she know about that? Well, you were told, don't invade my privacy. Don't contact me or my family, not in any form. Don't invade my privacy. Do not peep. Do not hack. Get out of my stuff. Get out of it. You've been billed, Charles, $1,000 a day for doing that without my consent. You're using my body against my will for your entertainment and for your make-believe love life. Because you don't have a real one. It doesn't go both ways. There's nothing mutual about it. And then $2,000 a day for doing it without my consent. And I guess you've told people that we were on a date or something, and what it really was is we were not on a date. I've not been in the same room with Mr. Perry since 2013. And but what he's done is make it look like we're on a date and she talked about this. Well, he's watching what I'm doing in my house and hacking me and watching what I do on my computer and getting very personal information from that and making it sound like we were out on a date, and I told him. I didn't tell him. I don't talk to him. Except these podcasts, there's no conversation. He's been asking somebody, can I go in the club and talk to her? And he was told, if you go in the club and she beats the hell out of you, and I think she probably will, because of what you put her through, there's nothing I can do. So she said she don't want to talk to you. Leave her alone. Well, we just need it. Nope. She said she don't want to talk to you. She doesn't want to hear it. Leave her alone. Well, I just want it. Nope. You got to leave her alone, sir. You got to leave her alone. And if you get anywhere near me, I don't go where you are. I've moved 2 times. I moved to an entirely different state to be with my family and get away from you. I left. You horrify me, you repulse me, and you disgust me, and you know that. Because I think if you didn't really know that, you would have already tried to come in that club and talk to me. And you haven't. So you know good and well that I'd beat the hell out of you. Because I'm not going to wait to see if you have a syringe or a gun or a chloroform rag or white oleander or whatever the murder weapons are that you talk about. Didn't you talk about white oleander a time or two, Lucius? Is that you that talks, has those kind of talks? You and David? David said I should have put a bullet in her head a long time ago. What will my guys do to you if you do something like that to me? If they do this, if they can tell me everything you just said, what else can they do? See, you don't know right now what we can and cannot do. I do not want to hear it, Charles. I moved twice to never again have to hear what you think or what you want or what you need. I don't want to hear it. And for a long time, everybody's been very, very sick. I think I said it in a podcast a couple of years ago. Everybody's sick and tired of hearing what you think and what you need. And I just want and I just need. Shut up. And what about what everybody else thinks and what we want and what we need? I have the right to my privacy. I need my privacy, and you need to get out of it. You get out of it. Okay? You don't have the right to invade my privacy. You don't. So about that time, you guys just did the same thing you always do. Laughed and ignored me. And then we get Lucius's name and we get Geppetto's name right after that. Right after that. So, I mean, you're provoking people with a lot of power, is all I'm saying. We're talking about getting my car. Right? Just a little bit ago. Just get our car, and then she'll call us. No, I am not going to call you. Did I call you last time you took my car? Did I call you any time that you wrecked my car? We've heard you talking about we need to get her to put a bumper sticker on that car so we can pick her out of a crowd. Yeah, we heard it, Calvin. We heard Calvin talking about it specifically. Okay, see, to everybody else, you horrify people. Normal people are horrified by guys like you because what you're doing is horrible. These are daycare concepts, guys. Somebody tell you quit pissing her off today. I need you to give it a couple of days rest and stop it. Just don't piss her off, please. Yeah, because somebody's trying to do what you wanted them to do, and then next thing we know, it's all over here. Yeah, and so the guy was like, hey, can you not give it a rest and just don't piss her off for a couple of days? Please don't piss her off. Look at that. Yeah, that's baloney. There's never going to be a wedding. That is bullshit. There's no way I would consent to a wedding. I've not even consented to a date. So if I haven't consented to a date or contact with Mr. Perry, do you really think I would consent to a wedding? What a whack job. What a complete mentally ill whack job. So for all those people that he told there's going to be a wedding, there is never going to be a wedding. He's a delusional wackadoo. There will not be a wedding. I said no. I moved 2 times to get away from this nutbag. Twice. And he's always in Oklahoma. And he ran my family off and my friends off. There's no fucking way there would be a wedding. He took everything I own. There's no fucking way there'd be a wedding. He's canned food. I don't do canned food, guy. And also, I'm allowed to say my opinion. My opinion of Mr. Perry is that he's a sissy, and he's a pussy, and he's a coward, and he's a prissy pants, and he's a pedophile, and he's a cop killer, and he's a rapist. So, do you really think that sounds like somebody that's going to have a date or a wedding? No. Nope, not going to happen. I don't like you, Charles. I left. Learn how to say next. Where's Jacqueline when you sit around telling everybody in Oklahoma that you're married to me? One of those guys, I guess it was Sanjay or something, one of those guys I've never met in my life, but I hear them talking in these police recordings or whatever, whatever surveillance stuff they got going. and or I hear somebody talking about them. So that's a lot of how I get the information I have. If they don't want me to know something, I don't hear it. And they do all that strategically. They pick and choose what I know and what I hear and what what goes out and where. That's above me. I don't make those decisions. So, anyways, Charles came up here and told everybody that he and Cindy are married and all this stuff that I'm watching her. And I'm sorry, but I don't believe that. I'm seeing her act like she can't stand him, like he's a stalker. And so, what I wanted to know from him is, what day did you pop the question? Where were you? When were you? What'd you say to her? What were you wearing? What was she wearing? What'd you say to her? What'd she say to you? And then I'm gonna ask her and see if she says the same thing, because I think he's full of crap. So give me specifics. Kind of like, there's a wedding license, a marriage license Mr. Perry forged. And like he said, I want you to spell your name for me right now, like you have spelled it on that marriage certificate. And I said, I didn't write my name on that marriage certificate, so I don't know what it's how he signed my name. And he said, the first thing I thought when he showed that to me is that looks like a forgery. That does not look like Cindy's signature. But I needed to come ask you. I said, Lucky, I've not even seen it. Where is it? Do you have it with you? And he goes, no, I don't have it with me. I said, show it to me and watch him shit himself. I've not seen it. I definitely didn't sign it. There's no way. There's no damn way. This cuckoo bird came up with this imaginary life and then, tried to make it look real. It's not real. It's not real at all. There's nothing real about it. It's not a mutual relationship. It doesn't go both ways. He repulses me. He repulses me. I feel nothing for Mr. Perry but horrified and deep, deep disgust. He is disgusting to me. He's creepy. He's weirdo. He's strange. He's bizarre. He's boring. Everything is repeat with that guy. I do not go out with men unless they make sure I don't miss a meal. Our shrink is like he's not into women. Look at what he does. We don't listen to what people say. We look at what they do. The first thing she said is, the peeping alone is enough for me to reject you. I'm not going out with a guy that peeps, and you can't respect my rights and boundaries better than that. There's no way. It'll never happen. And guess what he does? Starts typing in her phone. We're all sitting here watching him do it. I can see you. I take. Who's helping you? Is it, just say it. I can see you. Just say it. Is it Al? Is it Jim? Is it your family? Is it your kids? Is it your mom? Who's telling you? Is it Medicare? And we're like, oh, for God's sake, wow. This guy's 10 years past a good time for the funny farm. No question. My shrink thinks his doctor ought to be put in jail for not putting Mr. Perry in the mental hospital. That he's indirectly causing, how the causation, the law leans on causation. That the doctor who has failed to admit his family, who have failed to admit Mr. Perry to a hospital to get him the proper care so he's not a danger to everybody, that those people need to go to jail, because indirectly they're a cause if someone ends up hurt or dead or has a property loss or a financial loss or some kind of loss, relationship loss. So you cause a problem that it's caused by a man who's mentally ill and they acted negligently, and criminal negligence, not just civil. So that's her opinion, and it might be that happens before this is all over. I don't know. If it's up to me, it does. If they ask me what I think, I'm going to tell them I put them all in jail. I went through hell because of them. I mean, anyone can see he's not all there, and he's dangerous. Anyone can see that. So every time he contacts me, we got all this stuff that they've said. These are their code words and what they mean. These are human trafficking. You just don't understand how human trafficking works. She just doesn't understand how this works. Well, I think I do. Why don't you see if your jury does in your criminal trial? Okay? Explain it to them. Here's how human trafficking works. See if they understand. What a weird thing to say. Those are all subject lines of emails that I typed up of a recording, a police recording. That's how I have these code words right here. They came up in a police recording. Okay? That's pages and pages of every time he contacts me, every day he peeps, every time he causes a loss. We find out he's got Huntington's disease, or they're trying to take your car again tonight. Then she'll call us. No, she's not gonna call you. Did she the time you did it last time? Did she call you then? No. Every time you wrecked it, did she call you? No. Why do you think she will now? Stupid. Now they have even more than they had then. Okay, so we got all that. See? Look at that. That's from last year. We still have it. We only need one. To prove criminal intent and premeditation and malicious intent, we only need you to say it one time. And then what happens with these guys is they'll get caught, and so they'll sit on it for a little bit and talk about it again. Now we got two. And then they get caught again. They know they got surveillance on them 24/7 everywhere they go. They know that. They do it anyway. That's like driving 90 in a school zone when you know there's going to be a cop sitting there. It's that stupid. And and then ask the cop, how did you know? How did you find out? And the cop's like, well, I'm sitting right here every day at the school zone. You drive 90 every day. Every day we give you a ticket. You should, one more time, I'll put you in jail. Stop speeding. Stop. Be smart enough to stop. And then the next day he speeds by, and the officer finally says, listen, I've given you 2 warnings and 3 tickets, and now I'm putting you in jail. And I told you I would before I did it. And you did it anyway. Did you fall and hit your head on the pavement? Or, what is your problem? And don't cry and whine. How do you know? Well, because you do the same thing every day. Okay, so this is the, look at that. Couldn't get the door. They already had somebody try when I was in the VIP, and he couldn't get the door open. If you cause a problem for me at work, they're going to make you pay in ways you've never had to pay before. Through the normal legal process, but they're going to make you pay in ways you've never had to before. And somebody you got people around you starting to go, these guys have a fuck ton of money, and none of it's helping them right now at all. Nobody will call them back. Nobody. Everybody's sick of this. They want them to stop it. And they're not getting that message. They're not even. Everyone is sick of you. So sick of you. Because all you do is cause drama and hardship and suffering and misery. And if it's good, you make it bad in about 2 seconds. And so, we got all this. There's your names. Every time you took something, we got more names. You piss off leaks, you piss off informants, you piss off infiltrators, you piss off my guys that are in there, the head off, the main office, where they do get it all organized. Okay? And I'll get a bonus because they're sick of this. They're like, man, we got to do something. That's not right. This is a guy who thought he bought me. You can't buy people, Larry. You can't. You go to jail. It's a life sentence, same as murder. Buying and selling a person comes with the same sentence as a murder, if there's not the death penalty. Okay? Do you not think? Can you not look at your results and read them and go, this is not the results we wanted. Maybe we should change what we're doing. Because people are not going for well, you just don't understand how this works. Well, let's see if the jury does. Okay, so we have all this. Yeah, use mere puffery. If only this were a political ad, because it's not a political ad. They have it right on the Facebook page. This is not a political ad. It's about crime, and by the way, the content is all about crime. I've quoted somebody who was talking about Mr. Perry becoming the governor in response to what he said. We need Ms. Ortiz to lie because Perry just wants to be governor. So we just need her to, and the guy interrupted him and he goes, no, Mr. Perry is not going to be governor because here's the thing. He has come up to Oklahoma and done some horrific things to her. She's not eaten for 4 days. You don't do that to a woman. You don't do that to anybody. If you did it to a dog, they'll put you in jail for animal cruelty. You don't do shit like that. And he's got caught trying to kidnap her twice this week. So listen to what I'm saying to you. He's caught. Okay? If he doesn't know he's caught, he's too stupid to be governor. And if he doesn't know that when you're caught, you stop, then he's really too stupid to be governor. And not that you should do this anyway. That's why it's illegal. Normal people don't do it. It's illegal. So if he's too dumb to get all that, he's not mentally competent to serve as governor. What do you want him to do? Blurt something out when he's in the middle of a media interview or something, or blurt out your name that you're involved in this? Oh yeah, we got a human. He doesn't have filters left. They're gone. He says the weirdest shit I've ever heard anybody say and doesn't think a thing of it. He has no filters left. The reality is he's got a disease, and that disease is going to get worse, not better. So Mr. Perry is not going to be governor. Now, that had nothing to do with politics. That had everything to do with crime and his mental status. And his mental status may be the crime causation. That's not political, is it? If I was a Democrat, I still have the right to my privacy. I still have the right to file a police report and it be kept confidential. I still have the right to a complete and thorough police investigation and somebody not interfere with a chain of custody of evidence and then destroy my evidence and obstruct justice and commit perjury against me. I still have those rights. I still have the right not to have a weirdo make me feel raped all day, every day. I still have the right not to be trafficked. I still have the right to express my opinion and have one. I still have the right to not be harassed at work and bullied at work because you have get some people that, you put them on your payroll and have them bully me for you. It's just by proxy. That's all it is. I still have the right to talk to my family and my friends whenever the fuck I want, and you don't butt into it. I still have the right to date whoever the hell I want, and you don't butt into it. And we know, Charles, you are not of any interest to me at all. I've rejected you. Now move on. Act your age. Act like a grown man. Get some dignity. Get some self-respect, and fuck off. I said no. You and I will never date. Grow up. Grow the fuck up. Learn how to say next. Like everybody else can do just fine. You are a failure. You are a pathetic, rejected, nobody, nothing failure for not just moving on like everybody else can do. You are inept, and I can't stand you. My answer is no, and it's not just no, it's fuck you that you would even ask me. That you have the nerve. You disgust me, and you know that. So our shrink's like, she is flat said, here's what I am attracted to in a man, and here's what I'm disgusted by in a man. Charles, in 10 years, has never done one thing she likes, and he does everything she hates. This is not about a date, and he is not trying to attract women. No woman likes to be peeped on, or hacked, or have her whole family run off, or take everything she owns taken, have her, let's smear her in the media. Let's put her in jail. Let's kidnap her. We're going to have to bind and gag her because she'll kick and scream. All the things we've heard you talking about. No woman likes that. So he's not into women. He's into deviant men. Because if you like women, you do what women like. And he's not doing that. You want clean teeth, you brush your teeth. I look at what people do, not what they say. Just like that. That's the way it is. She said some of those guys working for him, I think they're normal. And I'm here to tell you, you cannot do the things to Cynthia that they have done or helped Charles do and be normal. You can't do it. It is some sick, twisted stuff. So when they're all arrested and I interview them, I'll be able to tell you what mental illness they have that allowed them to be able to hurt her the way they did. And just do it. It isn't normal to want to hurt other people. That's not normal at all. And if you watch anytime we have a tragedy on the news, Hurricane Katrina or shootings or whatever, you see great disdain towards the shooter. And a lot of people coming alongside to help the victims. And that's how normal people think. And that's why they act the way they do. So, there's that. But because you have not, and you've continued to try to hurt me and ruin me and traffic me and pressure me and cause duress, then we got all that. We get the help with stuff like this, inside information on your crime, and you get told on. Okay, we got this because you horrified somebody. That you were going to do that to me. You got this? You got that? Because you horrify people when you did this to me. Did I call you? I did not. I did not. You horrified someone, so we got this. It may have been an informant. It may have been a leak. It may have been an infiltrator. It may have been the judge. It may have been a wire. I'm not even told this. I'm not even told how they get what they get. And there's somebody else that calls the shots on what we do with it. Here's what you get. And some of it I don't get. The false arrest they did, I wasn't told they were going to go ahead and let them do it. I was shocked and I was pissed. And that's why they got me that puzzle. Right there. He knew I was mad. He knew I was pissed. And he said, I needed you to act authentic, and you know that. I needed it to be real. I'm sorry, but we had to let him do it. So what you're going to do is you're going to file a lawsuit, and we're going to get it on the docket and start using that to start using your civil case, whatever comes out of that. We're going to start using that to build the criminal case. They had already had one in the process, but we all thought that would bring out a new way. It kind of did, because Mr. Perry bought his way out. So it just spun off in a different direction than we had originally planned. Fine. We can pivot. We didn't hear us crying about it. We just like, okay, next. I mean, it wasn't fun for me. That court was very, very unfair. I wasn't ever in the courtroom. It's my suit. I'm supposed to have the burden of proof on me. They made sure I wasn't in the courtroom. There was no jury. Okay, so when David goes around, she can't prove it. Guess what, David? You know what people say to that? I think she can, dumb. You wouldn't let her in court. When the burden of proof was on her, you should have made her prove it, and you didn't let her prove it. So now it looks like you knew she could prove it. Kind of like the blood test. If you weren't poisoning her, why didn't you make sure she got a blood test? Get the results and show the media, look, we gave her a blood test, there's nothing in her blood. But that's not what you did. You made sure there was no blood test because you knew it would come up positive. For what? Arsenic? White oleander? I don't know. I don't know how long or how much it takes to kill someone, but I know white oleander will kill you dead. And you guys have talked about using that to kill me dead. So, for the record, any cops listening, if I end up dead and it looks like natural causes, chances are high it's white oleander or some such. So, not that you would run a test or anything if it's TPD. TPD doesn't, they don't, unless the TV cameras are on them, they don't take evidence there. Okay, so they knew I was pissed. They got me that. This is Fabian's name. This was the man that I wanted to date, Mr. Perry, and you butt in. So, I think one of those guys in Sand Springs, did one of those guys in Sand Springs tell you? I think that what you're going to do is make her very bitter at you for taking things that she wants. And I'm starting to see that a lot. This was a long time ago. He's even taken more. He's even ruined more. And the guy said, if you would let them see each other and stay out of that and let it run its course, it may last a week, it may not. It may last a little longer, it may last a day. You don't know. Let them see each other. And then let it run its course, and then if they break up, then try again to resolve things with her. Because all you're going to do is make her hate you. All you're going to do is make her resent you. Because you took something she wanted. You butt into something that wasn't your business. And so I think that you need to just let that go and let them see each other. And if it's meant to be between you and her, she'll be back. Okay? And now this time she won't be bitter at you. But right now she's very bitter at you because you're taking things that don't belong to you. And you're getting into her business where you don't belong. And that's stalking, by the way. So I'm just saying that's what I think you should do. No, all right, suit yourself. Yep. Let your life fade away. Let your whatever. These are not death threats. These are not death threats at all. Is this one? I'm asking him, are you going to kill me or kidnap me? This is back in 2015. You just don't understand how human trafficking works. Really? You think that's it? I just don't. Let's see about your jury. See if they understand. Every time you cause me a problem, we get more evidence against you. They're going to use the evidence to get a conviction. Well, that's what they get it for. You want to take my computer, my car? See? What can we do to leave her destitute where there's no other choice but to call us and then go be trafficked at our house of horror and she can get raped. At least then she'll eat if we decide she can eat. Yeah, that's how human trafficking works, isn't it? Why didn't you tell your jury? Save it for your jury. Okay? Explaining how this works. She doesn't understand how this works. We just need to sit her down and tell her, wow, you don't know me at all, do you? You don't know me at all. And I know you said that. And I know you said it more than once. Right, Calvin? We got all this. See? Pull her over, 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 pull. Use taxpayer-funded resources to harass a stalking victim. Show misogyny and gender discrimination. Yeah, I have the right to equal protection and application of the laws in the state where I live. I have the right to the protection of the laws in the state where I live. The Victims' Rights Bill. You heard of that? Witness, being protected as a witness. Okay, I'm supposed to testify. They want me nice and healthy, and they're testifying against you. I want to be in that courtroom to testify against you. Okay, so my feelings with them are mutual, but not with you. So there's that. So they want to make sure I'm safe. Okay, you make a problem, I got a bonus coming. This was from 2018, but I have 17, I think. Yep, right there, 17. They want to use me as a test case before the United States Supreme Court and perpetrate a fraud upon the highest court in the land. We're going to send you home. We're going to harass the hell out of you and do things like take your money, cause a problem at work, run your friends and family off, bother you all fucking day, type stuff in your phone when you're trying to get work done or anything done. Threaten you. We take, we get. We take, we get. Why did you like me? I'm going to take your car. I'm going to put you in jail. Why didn't you like me? I made you broke. Why didn't you like me? Types that in my phone all the time. She just doesn't understand how this works. Is it me that doesn't understand, sir? How this works? I think it's you that doesn't understand how this works. You're the one getting caught and told on. You're the one running around. How'd she find out? I think you're very confused too. You got Huntington's disease as well? Or you got Alzheimer's or senile dementia? What's your excuse? All right. I think things are not like you think they are. I think we said a long time ago, life as you knew it ended when you did the crime to me. You get caught only when you do the crime to me. Why is that? Maybe I'd explain that. See, there's things like that you can't explain, and you think that we're all supposed to, kiss your ass? You're off your nut. I think you don't understand how this works. Mr. Perry, no one asked you what you think, Connie. Okay? No one asked you what you think, Connie. Get out of my phone, please. He'll type in my other phone when I'm doing this. Mr. Perry, when you contact me, we always get more. Is that what you want? Look at your results right here. These are your results right here. I don't care what you think. You're wacky. I don't give a shit what you think. So he'll type in the other phone like he thinks this is a conversation. No, he's a voyeur and a hacker. This is a recording. He's not supposed to know I'm even doing this yet. It's not like it's been put out. So sometimes if I stop and say, shut the hell up, he will. Not always. Believe it or not, sometimes he'll keep talking. That's why everybody's pretty concerned about his mental status. Yeah, that's a wacky thing to do. Okay, so that's what the guy was saying. If he's in the middle of a media interview and he starts saying some of the stuff to the public that he's been saying here in Oklahoma, whack job stuff, then what are you going to do? What if he starts naming names? What if he says, oh yeah, Mr. Bettencourt's helping, Calvin's helping, Blankenship's helping, and we're all going to traffic Cindy and make a couple $1 million? What if he says that? What if he just blurts it out? Because he doesn't have any filters left. His disease is not getting better, it's getting worse. Okay, you tell us, what are you going to do then? Huh? He's gone up to Oklahoma and told everybody they're married and he's going to get her pregnant. Okay, well, they've not even been on a date, and she's 54 and doesn't want to get pregnant. And he's gone and told everybody that. And that his Cindy's son is his stepson. So, talk about whack job stuff. What if he just blurts that out in the middle of a political debate? or a media interview, because he doesn't have filters left. He'll just say shit and doesn't think about how other people might feel creeped out by that. He acts like he didn't care. So what are you going to do when he does that publicly in front of everybody? Because this disease is not going to get better; it will get worse. He's caught, and he acts like he has no idea that he's caught. Well, we're all talking about it, and she's talking about it, so he's caught. And if you don't know that when you're caught, you stop, not that you would do this anyway, then I'm sorry, but you're not stable mentally enough to be governor. You're not stably mentally enough to be dog catcher. So until he can prove that he is, not a whack job, and, I'm sorry, but I can't, I'm telling you, it's not going to happen. Realistically, I'm realistic. I'm looking at what I see in front of me. I'm looking at results, hers and yours, and I'm telling you, he can't run for governor. He can't do it. He's not physically or mentally or emotionally or intellectually capable. I'm seeing a crazed lunatic run around the state of Oklahoma, making a complete fool of himself, and has no idea. Not a clue. Why is he in Oklahoma anyway? Okay, so, and this one, they wake me up to fix the taillight. I went outside and sure shit, it was broken. Later at work, a couple of guys came into my work and said, "How did you know about the taillight? Who's talking? Is it Mays County?" And I was like, I go, you know what? Don't tell me stuff like that. Don't fucking tell me stuff like that. You guys almost got fired today, and I told them don't fire these guys. Why didn't you just shut up so that you're not making your own situation a whole lot worse? Because you're sitting here confessing to me that you broke into my car and you took out a taillight, so you vandalized it to have me pulled over. So you're sitting right in front of me telling me this. Shut the hell up. You almost got fired. I saved your job if you are not fired. I saved your job. I'm the one that said don't fire them. Don't fucking fire them. Just let it go. But don't do it again. Just for their sake, not yours, Charles. For their sake. They're just kids. Let it the fuck go. Okay, so what is that? Who the hell does that? I mean, I don't even... There's my tail light receipt from the man for Napa. This is lucky. We got tired of them harassing us all the time, wanting us to pull her over. They said she's harassing them, but you know what? You know how when she called us? Never. They called us constantly, wanting her pulled over. Fucking all the time. I got other shit to do. Real crimes to solve and stuff. This went to the U.S. Attorney. This one we got one we need to get back to Texas so we can do more to her. When you contact me, you invade my privacy, you take from me, you cause me a loss or a problem, we get more. That's how that works. I've said this. This is a repeat, by the way, guys. These guys are big on, they repeat the same thing, they repeat what they say, talk about boring. I don't know. But it's great when you're trying to build a criminal case because you have it. We only need them to say it once, so every time after that is icing on the cake. Right? Here, I'm going to email you what you just said, and I would like you to take it downtown and put it on the court docket and tell the judge she's harassing us. See this email right here? She's harassing us. And that way, in your criminal case, when the actual recording is admitted into evidence, you can't argue for its suppression. You made a public record. Okay? We've told you the strategy straight up. Full disclosure. When we get the more of these, the more Charles contacts me, the longer he's invading my privacy, the longer he makes me broke, the more problems he causes. We say this over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And then we show you. So maybe it's you that just doesn't understand how this works. I mean, we're like, okay, yeah, this is so easy, it's not even fair. Okay, you have to file a police report if you need to get a protective order, Mr. Perry. And you knew that. This is my Mike was drugged email. It's a March 2020 and May 2020. They said he was. This was right. Weren't you guys told? I need you to do 3 things. Quit doing things to make her look right and you look guilty. And need Charles to stop trying to talk to her. You want me to make this lie work? You want me to do this? You want me to... I can't. Until you stop doing things that make you look guilty and her look right and he stops talking to her. That's what we need. Take it or leave it. So, it looks like it's just not working out either way, huh? point out for me the marks on Mike that looks like he was in a fight. Oh, there aren't any. Even in the arrest report. There's not any. The arrest report said he had a swollen right hand. Well, you can't beat someone back and forth so hard. It's like they were in a car crash and they died of internal decapitation with one hand. Back and forth means two hands. And he has an IV needle in it, which would make it red and swollen. And if he actually hit Lucky that hard, that caused his death, then his hands would look like Lucky's face, don't you think? This man needs to go home. That's a wrongful conviction. And if it wasn't like all the civil cases where you made sure the jury didn't hear me and the judge didn't hear me, and then in Michael's case, his jury didn't hear me. That's 4 court proceedings. You guys made sure I was not heard. So you're concealing information that could change the outcome. It's pertinent. You're doing it intentionally, and you're doing it to change the outcome. And that is perjury by concealment. Right? We think it is. I'll let our prosecutor deal with that in your criminal case, okay? And there's the arrest report. Only one injury this guy lists. Right here, red swollen right hand. Detective. I'm maybe from a layperson's perspective, it looks to me like it could be red and swollen because there's an IV in it, and you can't beat someone's head back and forth so hard they die of internal decapitation. And the medical examiner said it was like he was in a car crash, and your hands look like that. There's no way. His fingers would be broken. There's no fucking way. Yeah. Okay. Detective Dum-Dum. There's one thing I can't do stupid people. I can't. Most people know that. But I really can't do stupid cop. You're held to a higher standard. You oughta, no, can't do it. Can't be around it. Makes me crazy. So, I mean, I don't mean like cuckoo bird crazy. I mean, it makes me irritated. I don't have the patience for it. I really don't. So probably I would, I already got mouthy with one. There was one that was undercover that came at me with, I'm from Philadelphia. From Philadelphia. No, you talk like a fucking hick from Oklahoma. Well, what part of the state do you, that doesn't matter. Here's the thing. You don't sound like you're from Philadelphia, and the clothes you're wearing are brand spanking new, which means the company that you're pretending to work for lent them to you. And please don't fucking insult my insult. Do you want a lap dance or not? Do you want a lap dance, yes or no? Learn how to do your job right, because this is going to just get on my nerves when you do this. If you're in here as an undercover, get it right. If you say you're from Philadelphia, you better fucking talk like you're from Philadelphia. If you say you're from Louisiana, you better fucking know a little bit of French. I only lived there a year. I know French. I know at least the few phrases they use very commonly in Louisiana. If you grew up there, you're going to know them. Mr. Perry, when you contact me like you just did again, we always get the help, not you. No one is going to help you ever. In 10 years, no one has helped you. No one is calling you back. Why can't you get the results, what they mean? Your results. The results of what you do all day long with your time. What is wrong with you? Okay, I'm done. We'll do this some other time. All right, so during this podcast, Mr. Perry has attempted to communicate with me so very much that I've got now typing to do of intel they're getting in. Because he's been told, don't invade her privacy. He should know what I'm doing right now. Don't contact her or her family in any way, shape, or form, directly or indirectly. And she's not to be broke. Get your hands out of her wallet. And he has tried to talk to me through this whole podcast. So we're done. I'm done. Okay? I'm going to go type up what they got coming in now.
I don't care. Leave me alone. I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey, men. Leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them, especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumb ass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her. You need to leave her alone. And this is Bacon.